Leon was only said one time in these 2 verses. Like he was a giant slayer, beloved. What we have to understand to be giant slayer. See, this is just not, you just can't step into this role as a giant slayer, beloved. Mm-hmm. You know, you just can't, you know, a giant slayer, you just can't read up on how to be a giant slayer. Mm-hmm. See, as a giant slayer, you got to go through some things.
Yes. Come on.
You see, a giant slayer got to have some experience in battle. You know, to be a part of this special unit, it takes a special anointing to be a part of this special unit. We're talking about giant slayers right here. That's what we're talking about. You know, God showed that this weekend as people were coming up and being delivered and healed. Because that's what giant slayers do. They go through and they become healed so then they can go and testify about the healing that takes place, beloved. You see, a giant slayer is not an age number. You know, you can be 20 and be a giant slayer. You can be 7. David was 18 when he was a giant slayer.
Come on now.
Come on.
So number's not the option. You don't need a number to say that, you know, I killed a giant. You need experience, beloved.
That's right.
So many times we as Christians, we get it messed up. Because we thinking we're killing the giant when sometimes we're just fueling it. Fueling it, just trying to run away from stuff. You notice when you go swimming and you see a big wave, you go up under the wave. And then when you try to run from the wave, it pushes you up and pushes you down in the ground. That's what giants do. Every time you run from a giant, he pushes you down and talks about you. Kicks dirt in your face. To another day. And he continues to do that day in and day out and day in and day out until you go and fight the giant. I remember I was in first grade. I was in first grade and these 3 dudes used to get punched in the stomach in the bathroom. You know, every day I would come out crying. But one day, something clicked.
Come on.
Something clicked on that day. Something clicked, beloved. Sometimes something has to click so you can go slay that giant. And I chased him down the block. You can see a fat chubby kid chasing this skinny dude down the block. It happened. Because he was my giant at that moment.
That's right.
And I had to deal with that giant. But that's how God is calling us against these spiritual wickedness and these demonic forces that we deal with. We got to catch them.
Come on.
In the act and call that thing out.
Yes, sir.
Jesus.
We got to catch them, beloved. We can't keep running and think, oh, I'm a Christian. Oh, I'm going to turn the other cheek. Yeah, sometimes that's what the word says. It says turn the other cheek and let them hit the other side. But Jesus flipped tables too.
That's
he sure
right.
did.
Threw people out. Yes, he
He
did.
threw them out. He weaved. Y'all know what that is. He weaved that switch.
That's right.
And drove them out. That word means drove. He pushed them out. We're talking about being a giant slayer. We're talking about being a giant slayer physically. Because see, here's the thing. In this day and age, it was all physical.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a physical type of giant. So we can see this giant. You can square off on this giant. But other giants now, it's more spiritual. So we can't always, we might have to square off in the mirror at ourselves.
Come on.
We might square off at ourselves because a giant could be in us. So when we defeat that giant, though, it's a victory. As you heard Sister Teresa, she said, I'm writing it all over that I'm free. All over I'm free. I'm yelling it from the top of my voice. I'm free. We have to operate in that freeness as giant slayers. Will it come back? Yes. And that's where we have to be so careful and so focused on what God has called us to do as a church, because that thing will reinvent itself.
Come on. Come on.
Goliath. But Goliath had a brother and he had some sons. So it doesn't stop the adversary from coming after you.
That's right.
Even though that he was defeated on the cross doesn't mean that he doesn't send the demons after you. Those demons are still coming after us. What do we do when you got to square up with a demon and he got you locked in a corner? What do you do when you're battling yourself? Because you know the demon is within you, but you're trying to keep him in and he keeps pointing his head out your mouth. What do you do, beloved? See, as a giant slayer, you have to just square up. You know, sometimes you know, back in my day, there wasn't too much shooting. You had to square up.
That's right.
And sometimes you would lose.
That's right.
And then sometimes you would win. But you still fought the fight. You know, so many Christians are sitting in the pews not wanting to fight, waiting on the Lord.
Wow.
My God.
Wow.
Why are you waiting on the Lord when he's saying fight?
Wow.
Why are you waiting on the Lord when you're saying we're learning about a balanced life? We the first part of balanced life is worshiping.
Yes.
As we sing the song, giants will fall, you have to worship to make that giant fall. In Jericho, they didn't fight nothing because they knew that they was tired. So he just said, follow around this city 6 times. And on the 7th time, you do it 7 times and then shout.
That's right.
And the walls fell down, beloved. The walls will come down if we're shouting and we're praising and our heart is lined up with God. They're going to fall down. They don't have nothing else to do but fall down.
That's right.
Because he's already been defeated.
Yes.
So when we put that little nugget in our mind and say he's already been defeated, because we're fighting battles that were given down through our bloodline.
That's right. You're right.
Some of these things are blood tied to us, so we got to battle these things. One of us has to say, you know, I'm going to speak to this spiritual wickedness over this place. Because if you're not going to do it, then I have to do it. So my children's children don't have to go through the same thing.
Come on.
It's true.
You see what happened with David is, yes, he slew Goliath, but then his servants slew the rest of them. The word says that David prepared and they destroyed the giants, meaning it was no more. And that's where we have to be. At no more giants. Slew them because them giants, he had 6 fingers and 6 toes. That's abnormal. You know, they think that's you think an 11-foot person is and a 12-foot person is normal. No, that ain't normal.
Come on.
That ain't normal to have 6 fingers. That's not normal.
That's right.
6 means flesh.
That's right. That's right.
It means flesh. That means everything that you're going to do is to be about the flesh. And we spend every day trying to kill this flesh, trying to kill this giant of a body. To do the will of God. Giant slayer. That's what God is erecting in elevated life.
Amen.
But see, point number 1, it takes one to know one.
Nah.
See, you gotta be one to know one.
Come on. Come on.
You wonder why the church really ain't growing that much? Is growing 1, 2s, and 3s? Because he's specially selecting this force of giant slayers. Think about it. People come and go.
Say it.
People come and go. People talk like, yes, I'm a giant slayer, but you can't stay in church.
Come on. Come on. Well.
You ain't no giant slayer. You're a giant player.
Come on. Well.
Stop playing.
That's right, Pastor.
So, yes, it's ever so selective. So, yes, we may have to go across this world to find 50 slayers.
Come on.
For God.
My God.
But I'd rather go across the world and get a whole bunch of players.
That's right.
I'd rather go to wherever he sends us to preach and teach the word.
Hallelujah.
To draw the slayers out. Because sometimes you got to draw them slayers out because the slayers ain't always sitting up front.
Right.
That's right.
They sitting in the back.